Hey guys, this is Dinosaur Drawer and this is part 2 of how to draw the 1000 subscriber special hybrid. So now I wanna get into the teeth, and I'm gonna draw a line to where I can't go beyond, so the teeth are never going to get longer than this area that I'm drawing right now. Alright, and let's draw in the teeth. Alright, that's his upper jaw. Now let's go to his lower jaw. And let's erase the pencil lines. Alright, and let's also put in the eye. And put in a little bit detail around the eye area as well. Maybe a couple of scales over here. And put a few wrinkles around his eye also. To make his this area around his eye look a little darker. And now let's put in some lines from over here. And a couple of scales. I want this area to be a little darker as well, and maybe put in an ear. Something like this, and maybe make this a little darker as well. Alright, and let's put in a muscle over here for his lower jaw. And what we could do right now is we could just make a square kind of armor plating, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put a lot of shadow behind every plate for now. So right now I'm just going over every line that is a plate, like over here, and also I should draw this in as well. Alright, so I'll skip to the part where I did every plate. Okay, and now what you want to do is create a little bit of shading beneath it over here, and also do this all around following the plates. And actually I was thinking about these kind of armored plates, or it's not armored plates, but like the Stegosaurus plates on his back, that he could actually retract them, and then just like with the Dilophosaurus, and maybe shake them around a little so it looks more intimidating, you know. Yeah, just put a bit of shadow everywhere underneath those plates. And put a line over here that indicates where his hip is about. And we could also just put a few spikes on his arm, just a few tiny ones. Something like that. And we could draw in his muscle structure, and of course a few wrinkles over here. And put a few of those skills over here as well. And we can draw in the ribs, just a couple of them. And put a bit of shadow behind it. Something like that. And you could also create a few wrinkles over here as well. Bit of shadow on his shoulder over here. There's a lot of shadow over there. Put in a couple of lines for the veins, and just a little bit of detail over here. And put a little bit shadow beneath it. And then just start darkening this bottom area. Something like this. And do the same over here, and maybe even a couple more lines just for the detail again. A line over here maybe, which gives it this extra bit of detail. Put a little bit of shadow beneath it, beneath those lines. try to get some scales and some details into it. This area over here is supposed to be a little bit darker. Tiny little bit. A line over here. And yeah, just go along putting in these tiny little scales. And don't go too dark on his side. Okay, that looks pretty good now. And you could try to make this a little bit smoother. Like so. Put a few shadow lines into his arm. And try to make these scales as dark as you can. And don't go over it anymore, just keep them over there. One more over here. His elbow. Line over there for his muscle in his elbow. Supposed to be very dark. Make a lot of wrinkles over here. And actually put in some nails. And then try to create that scale pattern on the hands of carnivorous dinosaurs that you see in Jurassic Park. Alright. Now we need to do his tail. And there's actually, we could make a line going from over here. Goes all the way till the end of the tail. A couple of wrinkles over here as well. Wrinkles go all the way till there. And then just try and put the kind of shadow in over here. And then start putting some shadow over here as well, on top of this line. And then put in those little tiny scales. And just do this all the way until the end of his tail again. And maybe create something like this. Gives it kind of a cool look, like it's actually attached to something. Okay, now let's go into his leg, and what you want to do here is just do the same old thing. Create a bit of shadow over here. Make sure you don't touch this line. Put in a knee. And a line over here for the shadow. Goes all the way down there. Maybe a bit of shadow over here, this section. So yeah, then you just put in the shadow over here, and you put in some shadow from over here, and in between those parts where it's completely white, you could put those kind of those little skills in it. So you could just put those tiny little kind of dots in it. There's a line over here, and it's very dark over at this side. And then you can just make this, I don't know, I'm not sure what it's called, but maybe let me know in the comments below if you watch this video. Alright, it's looking pretty good until now. So put a few lines in between that, and then just create this huge muscle over here. And a bit of shadow over there. Those wrinkles again. And then you just put in a couple of these lines. Make sure they keep going in the same direction, and you could just put in some random kind of little skills on it. So yeah, now comes the hard part. Well, actually it's not the hard part, but you can just put all of those little kind of skills over here. So I'm gonna skip to the part where I did all those skills on these plates, I mean on the armor, and then I'm gonna show you how to actually get detail into these spikes. So I'll see you when it's done. Alright, and my pen dropped some ink over here, so I had to improvise, so that's why I'm going to make all these top sections a little darker. These kind of top corners. Make them just a little bit darker. Alright. So I believe it's kind of a shame that it did that, because now it looks really dark, and I didn't intend it to be this dark. But yeah, let's continue on. So what we want to do now is try to get some shadow on this side and try to create something like this on every single kind of spike. And on the small ones, just put a little bit in it. And the bigger we get, the more detailed you can make this. So right here, I'm trying not to touch too much of the sides, because I want it to kind of I don't want it to be completely round. And right here it gets rounder and rounder, so you can keep the shadow on one part. I mean on one side. So let's refine this a little bit. And put a little bit something like this in it as well. On those really large ones. Alright, and now let's make sure that on the place where it attaches to his body, it gets a little darker, because there's going to be a lot of shadow over there. Alright, let's get a little bit detail into his lower jaw as well. I believe this looks pretty okay. And the last part is this, and in this part you just want to get the right side very dark and then just make it slightly lighter. Something like that. And do this on all of them. Okay, I quickly drew those in. And also do those shadow, what you did on the spike. You should also do that on these kind of spikes, on his neck and body. And those are supposed to be really dark, so they really stand out. Alright, now the only thing we have to do is Put a bit of shadow, a bit of detail in his nails. Alright. Oh, almost forgot this part. Yeah. Alright, so I don't have a name for this dinosaur yet, and I leave the name up to you guys. So if you have a really cool name that has to do something with the Stegosaurus, Ankylosaurus, Carnotaurus, and the Allosaurus, feel free to try and give it a name, and I'll pick the best name. And so yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I really want to thank you guys again for all the support and all the nice comments that I get on every single video. I really appreciate it. So yeah, if you like the video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.